Breaker Real Talk, and aka Unchained Hearts, Unchaining Hearts. And I'm here live on Instagram as well, because I gotta tell y'all what's going on here. We have Chad Cooper, who came to visit me, and I finally met him. He's awesome. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
We have Celeste Chaparro, which we did the Chola Chismes, and I think Amaria should join us next time.
Yes. You have to get dressed up, Amaria. You gotta look crazy.
Oh, I can do crazy.
Okay. And who knows, maybe Susan will be on with us, you know, and we'll see.
That'll be fun. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot to cover today. Chad's been helping me, like he's my co-host today. So what I wanted to tell everybody is, I don't know when this video on my Zoom will go up to YouTube, because I did get a strike. Hi, Wade, how are you? Thanks for joining us. But we have this one for now on Instagram. And so my main channel, oh, I'm getting a high-pitched noise. Go away. Got the, hold on. Let me have my channel back. So they took down the video that I did the last time. It was a doctor, a well-known doctor, that he was on Rumble, and I have it on Instagram. And they took it down because I played it live, and I was telling everybody about certain elements in the H2O.
Chad.
I want to talk about.
Oh no.
And you know, I talked about also who was involved, right? And the powers that be that are letting certain things happen, and different things that have been going on. Gosh darn it, this is so hard to talk without. Gotta make up some codes here. So my question was, because I have to go back and listen to it again, but back in March 2019, I got this system going where you mix a thing that rhymes with cloro. And hi, Supra, how are you? And we were told by a former president to take it when this whole thing was planning out. But in the video, the doctor talks about, he asks, what is the thing that sheds? What is the color of the juices that come out? Like when somebody gets a snake bite, what do? Right? You suck the poison, spit it out, but then you're like numb for maybe 3 to 6 months because you can't really taste food or smell anything. But anyway, I will send whoever wants, or I can put the link here later of that video on Rumble. I find it surprising how they took that one down, but not the Chola Chismes. Hola. So if anybody wants to be,
it's actually a really interesting video. It makes a lot of sense.
Oh, we got Susan. Yay.
Yay.
Well, Veronica, for me, it's a game changer too, because, you know, to create something nefarious and to release it into the, you know, elements, whatever, and it takes its course is one thing, but to deliberately go around and add something to something that you have to directly ingest kind of changes the tone of what they did or what happened. You know, some accidentally getting out of something being created for nefarious reasons, yeah, is one thing. But, you know, that's well, you know, like it reminds me of Snow White and the Poisoned Apple a little bit, you know. And
yes, I keep thinking about that. Hi, Susan.
Susan.
So we're gonna be here careful on don't do your nose thing here. They always do that. They said every time I say the truth about something, they send the itchiness, because usually if you're with those agencies and you study body languages, right? If you do this to your nose when you're talking, that means you're lying, which is bullshit, because we know the truth anyway. So we have to be careful with those words. The I word. What are some of the things that you guys use for repair? Because there's an argument out there that says that you cannot repair after you get the baby Jabberwocky.
You mean this thing?
Ah!
I got some really cool stuff that my partner and I have been taking. He actually has had 2 of these before he realized what he was doing to his body and was really upset that he was lied to. And he was having some neurological issues, but they've gotten a lot better. There's a lot of different things. I actually put them next to me. So I take 3 of these. I'm just going to show what they are, but they're 1,000 milligrams a piece, and it helps to boost our system that our body gave us. That's so beautiful, that helps us to stay healthy. So I'm avoiding certain words. And so you want to make sure that it's not just ascorbic acid, because your rose hips and asterola is going to be your stronger type. I could even see, I don't know if it's showing up very well. But anyway, this is one that I found that's really good. And the information that I'm getting is from my personal research, as well as my dad is actually an osteopathic surgeon. My mom's an RN, and we keep up with a lot of medical stuff. I've got pre-med training. I've just studied ever since my kids were little. This right here is great for the HPV virus, and it's also good for herpes, cold sores. So if you feel like you're getting an outbreak, oops, this little guy is your best friend. And I take this a lot because if I get sick, I start getting cold sores. And so I'll double up on this stuff like crazy just to help get rid of it. And then, of course, you want to keep your heart strong because there are some issues with the heart. I take this, and I also take CoQ10. I didn't grab it to show, but I take that as well. Now, this is a big one. This helps to produce glutathione in the body. Glutathione is one of the strongest antioxidants that the body produces. And if our COX-1 and COX-2 in our stomach is being screwed with by stress, by this, or being ill with certain things that the spike comes off of this, this helps to repair it with that glutathione that it helps your body to produce. And the other one, there it is. This one is a DNA repair, DMG, or dimethylglycine. I wanted to make sure I said it right. This was one that my dad suggested for myself and my partner because we were struggling with some neurological stuff, and this really helped with that. This mixture, and this is stuff that we take. I take about 30 different supplements a day, but it's been very worth it. I take 4 of those a day because of where I am. I don't get a lot of D3. And so one of the things, there's several doctors that are talking about, is D3 deficiency causes more dis-ease in the body. You can put that word together a little bit more in a more common way that people say it. But this helps to strengthen that system, that they're saying that this kind of stuff helps, which, our bodies don't need this kind of stuff. Another one that I do is the ashwagandha black pepper turmeric combo. And this helps with the nerves, with the feeling of anxiousness, anxiety. You can pair it with cannabis oils if you use those, or your, what do you call it, CBD oils and whatever else, if you like to take those. And then for the crystalline body, I take calcium, but I also take silica. And silica is a big help, especially with, the energies where we're raising vibrations. It really helps definitely with balancing. This is something that I've found that helps balance. I'd have to look it up again, but I know that you can either do a tea or I just take it. And like I said, all of these I'm taking in the morning. There's some I take at night, but these are my daytime. This is one, some people take the white pine needle. It's also in dandelion root, but it's suramin, and that helps with certain spikes.
Things that are spiky.
The spiky stuff. And then, of course, you've got to have this guy, your zinc. And then energy-wise, just to help with upregulating my thyroid, downregulating the adrenals, of course, what stress likes to cause. I've got this Mega B complex. The best B12 that I found is methylcobalamin. Cyanocobalamin is okay too, but those are the ones that methylate really well. I really like this brand. I don't know how clear that shows up. Let's see if I can get it to, I don't know if it'll focus. But it has a really good rounded source of B vitamins. And then this just helps. It's got a nitric oxide booster, just because I've had lung damage. And this also has helped with some of the neuro damage that my partner and I have had. This, let's see, the microalgae, the spirulina, helps with heavy metals, which anybody that's researched any of the SSP stuff knows about the black goo. Also biodots, there's a lot of different things that sort of technology can be called. And it's also the type of technology that's in here with graphene that helps with pulling heavy metals out of your bones, joints, brain, tissues. It's really great. Excuse me. Like I said, I take a lot of things. And one of my favorite things that the doctor talks about, and it's funny because there's over 50 years of research on this. It started on human use. It did not start with animals. Part of the reason it was used was because of parasites in our drinking water down in Central America. And some people, I don't care what you think, but you know what? This is what I take. I'm not going to say it out loud, but it is the I word. And I'll even show you how I do it. I'll take it right here in front of everybody. Really simple. It comes in a bottle like this. No, you do not inject it into your body. So this is what the little thing looks like. For every 110 pounds, which I'm about 101, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that dose. So that's about a dose for a 110-pound person. I pull air into it. I'm going to pop that upside down right here. Put the air in there, and then I'm just going to back it up and then get the air out. And there's my amount. Like I said, this does not go in my skin. I'm going to drink it. And this is how my dad, who is an osteopath, showed me how to do it.
And remember, we're not doctors, so
we're not doctors. I'm just showing you this is how I prophylactically take care of my immune system.
I put pine oil in my water.
Oh, that's really nice. And while I take it, one of the big things that he says always take with it, always, always, always take this with your I word. So anyway, that is my minimal concoction. I have other things I take just, for my own health, but that's the ones that I'm taking and my partner and I take, because where he's had this in his body from, he had to heal some of the damage. So there you go.
Thank you, Amaria.
Yeah, that's nice. You know what else is nice is I heard Kelly Coffey talk about before the vitamin C in a combination with MSM.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
5 milligrams and 5,000 milligrams. Yeah, and 1,000 milligrams 5 times a day. That does wonders for the lungs and regrowing things.
Nice.
Yeah, that combination. If you're already doing the other, you might as well I throw that in them and everything, like a little bit of my. Whatever I'm making, I just add some to it. So
that's awesome. It sounds like it would be really effective. I'm wondering if that's like because I put this in my nebulizer, and I'm wondering if the MSM and this, and I put a little bit, like maybe 3 or 4 drops of peroxide in my nebulizer with it, and that's what helped me heal my lungs.
Oh, iodine.
Oh, that's
iodine, right? With the iodine as well, which I actually have it somewhere in here, but yeah, it's just a liquid that I put under my tongue otherwise.
Yeah, I believe the other is a derivative of DSMO.
Oh yeah, and I do actually have DSMO. It's great. I love that.
Yeah, DSMO is nice, but the thing with DSMO is it goes in fragrance and odor free, and then it comes out of your pores smelling like puke and baby.
It smells weird. Hmm.
Like, and it's very offensive, apparently.
So I have someone on Instagram, Gina Snow. She says, so far I'm taking all those supplements from Vimergy, Victor,
Oh, nice.
Ida, Amazon, Mary, Edward, Roger,
Yeah.
Romeo.
And I would add like a barley wheat powder to the spirulina just to help carry out some of the heavy metals along with it and stuff. Because I know we were adding other things. You're just giving like the core.
Right. This is just basically, like I said, it's what I take for myself and my partner. We've had to kind of play with, add and take away things. So like for everybody, just like anything, not everything's going to be a one size fits all. But you
Right.
know, like there's going to be the core. You want your zinc, you want your C, you want your D3, especially in higher doses if you're in areas with less sunshine, because it's actually not a vitamin D3, but it's D3 hormone. And you want to synthesize that with the UVB rays. I actually go to tanning beds about twice a week. I don't do it for the purpose of tanning, but what I do is for the purpose of helping keep that hormone activated so that my bones stay strong. Especially,
I use
I'm
the-
I'm almost 46, so I need to make sure that I'm keeping my bones strong.
yeah, I do kombucha, and that helps with the digestive.
Oh yeah, I love that.
When you want to clear it out, and then I do the activated charcoal, and then of course I have the calm, which the Snows also told me they take. And then the frankincense and pine oil was sent to me from Canada by Lindsay Fireball. So thank you, Lindsay.
Nice. Aw, that was really sweet.
Awesome. Yeah. All of you all are awesome because we're sharing with everyone here. Susan, did you want to say something?
Yeah, here's another thing. If you're having problems with that virus, you need to take, let me see if I can get this. It's monolaurin and it's lauricidin. And this is really good for your gut health and your immune system. And you should be taking like a little tablespoon of this every day. It comes in little pellets. I started having a shingles outbreak the other day and I didn't know why on my neck. And I ended up, see, this is like, I don't know if you can see it. It's little pellets. I think you're supposed to work up to 3 scoops a day. The directions are on the back, but it has a little scoop in there. And I did the DMSO with some MMS. I put it on a paper towel. And it's weird because the shingles were gone within 2 days. And I've had them before and they last for a month. That's what it was. But I just put the DMSO on a paper towel, put 3 drops of MMS and rubbed it on there, and the rash is all gone. So I think shingles might be a part of being targeted.
And also,
I'm wondering, there was 3 of us at work that came up with some sort of rash. It was similar like to like the shingles type thing, or like hives.
like
And
eczema,
it was,
yeah, ever since I was,
yeah, all up the arms and the neck and the chest, and then it was like 2 days later it was gone.
yeah.
That's interesting that Susan brings up the shingles. I wonder if they're all correlated.
But when I did the MMS cleanse, because I'll get that eczema right here, it went away. And then if I put that salve on there and it goes away. But if I forget, I'll come back, and that's the only place that I seem to have it. So I'm wondering if it's not, parasite related too, because when I did the MMS, it disappeared. And now I need to do like 8 drops a day. I haven't been doing that every day.
Well,
That salve Susan makes is amazing. I've got it.
Yes, I got it too. Thank you, Susan.
Oh, awesome.
The cold sores, remember, Susan, you were telling me about to get licenine and stuff like that. This was like anytime if there's like a fever, whatever, the cold sores come out. I was told that that's also from the the parasites that are in the sex organs things. So I'm thinking, okay, well, how do we get those parasites? Like, were we given to us when we were kids before we were taken? Because I remember when I was 1 year and 8 months, I remember being taken at 3, but when I was 1 year and 8 months, that's when they started giving me those plasmoid stuff, baby Jack, before being taken through the wormholes. So I feel a lot of us have that kind of stuff. when I was on medication, you know, 4 years ago on the psych meds, they had given me Buspirone, and I just broke out in hives and I couldn't breathe. So that's not good. I'm glad I'm done with all medications. So it's been a challenge. And also, Lindsay Fireball was telling me that she was reading about a study about smoking, and that's supposed to help the parasites in the lungs as well. And with all this stuff that's going around right now, or has been going around, and also that video that was taken down, but the original one is still on Rumble, also talked about.
Oh yeah, the nicotine receptors. I actually got some, not like the tobacco you do suck on, but the little pouches that just have the nicotine in it. And just a little suck now and again, like if I noticed the headaches at work, and it did work. The headaches went away because I have some friends that I work with that got these as well as the boosted ones just after the regulars. And I noticed like it's weird. I can tell when he comes in the room, even if I don't see him, because within just moments I start getting a headache. But if I use some of the nicotine during the week, I only need it twice a week, and I don't get headaches around him anymore. So something, I mean, I thought, hey, why not? I'll try it.
Yeah. So Celeste, did you want to say something? Or do you want to tell them what happened about the targeting crap?
Oh, when I was out walking?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's this park that's close by, and it's like trails and stuff, and I like going through the wooded part, and so I'm leaving, and this lady is she has her door open to her car, and then all of a sudden then she just pulls out her phone, and it looks like it's pointed at me. But, you know, it's on Veronica, it's really pretty there, so she could have been taking pictures and stuff, but it just really looked like she was pointing it at me even when I was leaving and backing out. Then it looked like she kind of moved the phone. And then I went again yesterday, and I was leaving, and there were these two black SUVs, a Tahoe and a Suburban, and they were like the much newer kind. And one of them, the license plate was a G, and then like 4 or 5 of the numbers, and I'm like, is that a government vehicle? And then the other one just looked like a normal car, but still it could have been, I don't know. I was just like, oh my God, I can't even go walking and enjoy the sunshine and just enjoy. And man, I was walking deep in the woods, like I was by myself, so anything could have happened right then and there. But I was like, I don't care, whatever happens, happens. But I was fine. I didn't feel any kind of way like where I was scared or anything like that. Like I did my walk and then came back home.
Yeah, we were also talking about like how they're raising the rents for everyone, and I
Yeah.
the part of the G Mafia that I talk about, that the smart cities are going to be going up, and it's just like, where are we going to live? You know, it's like
in the woods.
I got a year.
Start our own little commune. Yeah, I even went to Williams today to try to find an apartment, but I couldn't find anything. Like I found it's like this little rundown place was called the La Peñata. I was like, the Peñata. So I called the number, and the guy's like, oh yeah, there's nothing for rent, when there's clearly a sign that says for rent, and then there's one of the apartments with the padlock on there, you know? So I was just like, okay. And then I was just like, all right, well, it looks like I wasted a drive down this way. But yeah, they're raising their rent $400, and I'm just like, oh my God, how am I going to afford that?
And we have been talking about like maybe building a community, you know.
I'm down.
So, Susan, did you want to say something? Ooh, I like your background. Beautiful.
I was like, oh, I like Celeste. I'm going to see if I can change mine. Like, I want something cool too. Like, I got a couple pictures I downloaded.
I know, right?
Beautiful.
Those are actually frozen bubbles in the background in a lake, which looks really wild. They look like flowers under the water.
They do.
I like them.
It looks cool.
Oh, okay. So I have to tell you, whoever was on Instagram knows about the astral attacks. I told you.
You want to talk about that? Because I had one of those this week. I also got hit from, I don't know if it was a satellite or whatever, yesterday when I was coming home, and it felt like my intestines were getting ripped out again.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But,
Go ahead and talk about any new.
The astral thing was, it was Sunday night, and I was trying to, you know, when you're almost there, and I'm trying to go on the astral, but I could feel somebody standing next to me right here. And I'm kind of looking because I'm half in and a half out of the astral, and there's this black figure there. And for some reason, it kind of reminded me of those troll-looking things from Star Wars, but I couldn't really see it. And those things that look like they have the rags on them with the weird eyes. But he kept trying to jump on me while I'm laying in bed trying to astral, but then I wouldn't go because he's trying to jump on my astral body. So I kept like trying to fling him off. And then I just laid there for a while and said, you know, F you, get the hell out of here. And I didn't go astral till he left. And then we found out it was somebody we knew that had been in the SSP. But that's what I made that post about the other day. It's like, don't even come in my bedroom and start.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and then you're showing up not even as yourself, but as some creepy looking shadow being. But then you admitted it was you. So it was a friend of Frank's. I'm like, why the hell was he on my side of the bed? Why wasn't he bothering Frank?
Forget about it.
Casey and I had some attacks about 3 weeks ago when we were in Jackson. We were doing a job out there and staying in, trying to remember the name of the motel now. But like the first night, there was a disembodied man that had tried to freak me out. There's hauntings there, and I was like, go away, and I did my thing. And the next night was the really weird one because he has not had it to this level. I mean, you know, the sleep paralysis and all that crap. Well, he had the paralysis, and then I could hear him, like, he goes, babe, and then it was quiet. And I'm like, what the heck? Because we was sleeping in the other bed. Sometimes we just, the PTSD thing, we'll sleep in separate beds. And he was over, and I could hear him, and then I could feel that energy of something was wrong. And so I looked up, and he screamed, and he jumped straight up, jumped over in the bed with me and was shaking. And he's like, babe, 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 there's something. He's like, the pillows were levitating. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I turned the light on, and his bottled water threw across the room. I didn't touch it. And it was like, bam. And there are like these little creatures, like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 feet tall, little black shadowy things. I just figured it was a succubus or something. And I started yelling. I'm like, get out of here. We don't have any contracts with you motherfuckers. I'm trying to sleep. He's like, my girlfriend's badass. I'm like, that's so weird. Have you guys had any where they're like levitating you? Because he was fucking levitating.
Yes, mine's kind of long. This happened, one happened 2 nights ago and the other one day ago. And I told Chad about it and Celeste. I don't know if I might have told Eve. Hi, Eve. So, what is Supra from Instagram says shedding happens for real. Any suggestions for protection? Okay. So we answer that question now, and then I'll go into the astral attacks.
You know, because I feel like mine came from that, and I feel like it came in through the nose first. So I leaned in to either give someone a kiss on the cheek that had just, because I remember my lips got burned a little bit, and I couldn't figure out why or where it came from because there was never anything for me to have them be that way. No, nothing leading up to it, and then I could feel irritation in the back of my throat, you know, there. So I'm wondering if I breathed it in through that process. I mean, that would seem like that would be kind of weird. Otherwise, I feel like, you know, it had to be, I had to drink it in. But so as far as what to do, because I believe there was that discussion earlier, correct? On
It affects mucous membranes. That would make sense. Why
what
you
was
got
it?
it.
Or
If
how
it
to
affects,
protect yourself from
I'm
it?
thinking like if it affects mucous membranes, because remember how they were talking about if you suck snake venom out of your arm or something, you get bit and you lose your taste and smell. Well,
I
that's a
did.
mucous membrane. So that's kind of like, you know, the mouth, the nose, the under the eyes, the, you know, the anal area, the vaginal area, like the private parts. Those are like the more mucous membrane areas that are, I guess, more permeable. And so I'm wondering if that's one way that is easy for the VIRUS to go through or whatever it is. the bio whatever the crap.
The bee thing.
With the name we should never say.
You should never say, because then I got one strike already. So should we go for bada bada? Three strikes. If you're out, then I'm gonna have to start another test. Oh my gosh.
Mine came through the day after they received their bite, you know, bite number 1.
So Supra was asking what kind of suggestions for protection, so for shedding. So we just talked about it in the beginning of the video, Miss Supra.
I don't know that you can.
Let's just keep detoxing. One of the things that's really good and that we natives have used for thousands of years is this root, because it's a blood purifier, but you want to take it with zinc.
Dandelions.
So these two, where is it? Together is really strong to help with that clearing in your blood.
The gluconate. Okay. Hopefully that helps you, Miss Supra.
So that helps. I know that helps with SPIKE. So.
And then of course, you know, keep detoxing, exercising, drinking a ton of water. Like we said, I put the pine oil in it or the shungite. Because I mean, I don't even know about the bottled water sometimes. It's been in, you know.
That's where I'm wondering, where did it come from? Yeah.
Right. So, you know, when I was a kid and living in the South Side, we had this, I think it was tetrachloride, some crap that was in the water. And a lot of people got hives from that too, and allergies. And there was a huge lawsuit going on, but my mom couldn't afford an attorney, so we never got paid on that. But, you know, it affected our lungs. And once every like week or once every 2 weeks, it's been a year though, so that but recently I've had to use it twice in like 2 weeks, is the inhaler. I have an inhaler that I have to use. Like I can smell, even just sensing, I'm very sensitive to like the air. If I'm outside or if I go into someone like a warehouse or like just a store or somebody's house and it's something's wrong either spiritually or in the air, I start like can't breathe, you know. So sometimes I have to use the darn inhaler or go outside and go for a walk, put your arms up to breathe. But anyway, I'll go back to the astral real quick and then we'll go with Eve, see, because I know Eve's had some things happen too, and if you all have any more.
Can I comment though on that shedding thing? Because the people that had the bite or whatever they had, they drink bottled water on a daily basis. I don't. I drink mine through the Berkey, so I filter mine. So I wouldn't suspect that it would come from bottled water unless it was coincidence that they happened to drink a contaminated bottle of water and get the bite, and I came down with it the next day. So I'm going to rule out the bottled thing and maybe even the tap thing because I filter mine and lean towards it was a shedding thing for me, which is a little scary because it was pretty intense. You know, I might as well have drank it from straight from the source. But I'm going to lean towards not the bottled water and not the tap, but maybe the shedding thing is. And
yeah.
How do you that? I don't know.
This downstar seed, you can do the same with food authority. We have, you know, even though the water bottle isn't the best, you have the authority to transmute it, talk to it. Yeah, that's what I've been doing for a long time. And then talking, you know, because it is a sentient being. Thank you, Ms. Dawn Star. It's a sentient being and it hears you. Just like our cell phones hear us, you know, things black goo, you know, what is black goo? It's a sentient being. What are we made of? Bioluminescence, and they made black goo out of us, you know, they found a way to mine us that way. So anyway, but going back to shedding, a lot of people that I've talked to that have a partner that took the baby Jabberwocky, that we call that, and had sex with them, they either ended up getting sick for a day or 3 days, and then they have to transmute that too. So good thing, you know, we can transmute all kinds of stuff, especially with the O negative blood type. that is easier for us, or a carrier if you're a positive RH negative carrier, that helps too. And it's all, remember, it all begins with the thought, how you feel, and what you say, right? So 3 things: what you think, how you talk about yourself, what you say, what you feel, etc. To make things happen. Remember, our tongue is like a double-edged sword. You either create or destroy. So thank you, Dawn. She said yes, precisely. So I've heard a lot of people complain about that. You know, it's the shedding. Get your sun codes every day. Go for walks. Get that stuff transmuted. Do your meditations outside. You know, get yourself in the bath water. I always talk about the hot water too. So that helps a lot with the baking soda, the borax that I put in there. I throw in a splash of apple cider vinegar and what is it? Epsom salt, borax, baking soda, and then a splash of apple cider vinegar. Okay, so going now to the astral attacks. There was a huge astral attack the day before I loaded up that video. I was in a situation where I was in a kind of like a part of a mansion where they had people where they wanted to put them kind of like in a experimental place, we'll call it. And one of them, I had him on my show 3 videos ago, and I'm not going to say his name because he's at a super soldier conference and I have to talk to him personally to get permission. So one of our jobs, because Susan, you were there, I don't know if you've had this before, but and then there was a Native American male, a man, older man. I don't know, Eve, if it was your father or not. I still have to read the frequency. But we had to riot to get these people that were being used for this experiment that's going on right now out of there. So we had to go out with, you know, bats. Some of us had bats, you know, because they had these people in this place, but then they try to take them away from us. And then they put them like in the old station wagons. And when I was going up to get this man that I was trying to save, this soldier in front of me shot at me, and there was a bullet that went right across my right shoulder, right here. And I picked it up, and it was a hollow .40, right, for a 40 cal. And I was like, mother effers. Chad, you were there too. So your frequency. There was another lady there that I don't want to say her name because I know you guys that I sent the message to know. She was trying to attack a lady with red hair, and the lady would go by Priscilla. And so this older lady, the previous night I had the astral with her as well. She wanted me to kill some spiders that were wolf spiders, but at the same time, she didn't notice the spiders around the walls. 2 of them made a big spider. I tapped on it and then they just dispersed. Later on, she told me that she believed it was cables, and I'm like, okay, well that could be, but it was just a sign to me of other things. So this lady was trying to attack a lady with red hair, Priscilla. It ended up being that the older lady, pretty much they got rid of her because she was trying to infiltrate the situation. We were able to get out the people that were stuck in this experimental realm out. So we got to keep fighting, guys. And then yesterday, I was in the astral again, and there was a huge angel kind of type with black hair, like kind of poofy. He kind of reminded me of a Mayan. He was like this. He was looking down at me in the cloud, looking down. And then I said, who are you? I said, are you Archangel Michael or are you Archangel Lucifer? And as soon as I said that, he gave his back to me and he left. He took off. Prior to this, I was at a gas station where I used to live in my other house. And there was all kinds of people. I had been wanting some new tarot cards. So there was a box of brand new tarot cards. It was like pink and purple, real pretty, in a brown bag and it had a receipt and it was for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you, you know, whoever gave it to me. Then on the other side, her frequency felt like Nisha Johnston, but I haven't talked to her since our conference last year. She was giving readings as well. And then it's kind of weird. Later on, there was a little baby that would come around and I'm like, oh my gosh, you smell like you got to get your diaper changed, you know? And I kept telling the mom in my astral, I go, you got to change the diaper. So that stench, I knew that something was attacking me. At the same time, and I'll end with this, I saw Saturn and 2 planets align. And I said, you guys, and I told Celeste this, I go, do you guys see this? There's Saturn's aligning with these. Don't you guys see the planets are right here? Because every time I tell people that the planets are right here, okay? The dome that we're under, it's just the color, the blue, the Project Blue Beam, it's just for us not to see the planets that are just right there, okay? A lot of people say, oh, we got to go into deep space. Well, deep space is just right here. And it was just funny. Later on, Celeste tells me that it was Saturn was aligning with other planets. So I don't know if you guys have any comments. Eva, Eve, thank you for coming, joining.
Oh, thanks for having me. Yeah. Did you want me to say anything about the attack that I had gone through? Well, this was probably, I think it was like the 10th of April. And I'd been having some really strange dreams. And so I ended up like, I was checking the EMF and there was like tons of EMF, like where the head of the bed where I sleep. So I decided to like flip upside down on the bed and sleep where my, you know, upside down. And I had a really strange dream. I was like in this house and there was only 2 people in the house. And I had gone up to the stairs because this light kept turning on. So I just kind of had this feeling like there was like a haunting in the house. And I was starting to lay down and go to sleep in my dream or in the astral, which I thought was really weird. But I laid down and I covered up. And all of a sudden, I happened to catch a young girl walking into the bathroom, and I knew who it was. It was my ex's daughter. And I thought that was really odd that she was in my dream. And I started to fall asleep. And all of a sudden, I felt someone jump on top of me. And I could even feel like their arms, like on the side of my head, like they were just like face to face with me, but there was like a blanket in the way. And I couldn't see who they were, but I ended up catching like a really bad smell, like a really horrible, like body odor, really sour, almost like kind of like ammonia, like urine type smell, like a bum, you know, just jumped on me. And I was like kind of sick. But I was able to say a couple words and I was able to get this thing to get off of me. And I didn't really have a whole lot of paralysis, night paralysis. But it was really a very unnerving type attack. And then I'd say about 4 nights ago, whenever I messaged you, Veronica, and let you know what was going on, I was attacked. I woke up, I fell asleep, I woke up, I was in my room and lights were off and everything. It was like somebody was standing next to the bed. And so I like looked over and there was this man that was standing there, and then he proceeded to like sexually assault me. So in the astral, and I couldn't really, I know I didn't want it to happen, but it was like I was drugged, and it was just like really strange things like that have been happening to me lately, especially after I had contacted somebody to do a show with Veronica and I about certain bloodlines, and right after he agreed to do the show, That's when this attack happened, and he was also had been mentioning something about like he was they were trying to force him to attack women, that certain super soldiers. So but he refused. But it was like they were trying to set it all up to make it seem like that's what was going on. And I just had this really, you know, just being an empath, I was able to get that this person wasn't who they wanted me to believe it was. So I mean, it was just a whole strange thing. And I haven't had any attacks since, so that's the good news, but just a little worried about, you know, everybody else. And there had been a couple of people that had mentioned previously that they'd had the same astral attacks at night in their bedrooms, or it's they're attacking, you know, what are they going to do? They go for the strength, and you know, we are the strength, so they're going to try and take us down any way that they can.
Thank you, Eve, for letting us know all this. Yes, and that person was supposed to be on, right? And he's also the other Hulk. He's the first one that I actually reached out to when I had my awakening. And I said, hey, you were in my astral. I was with you. We were both Hulks. And he said, yes, you were my bodyguard. And then he told me, he was the one that told me that they used me for the Stargate 1 thing that they're still using for what I call the Project Crystal Gates. And he has been attacked since I known him, in and out of psych wards, because they don't want us to connect. And they used Eve's blood for him and me in the Hulk program. And I know Susan is the other Hulk that I know of. Also, James is the other Hulk. That's the only Hulks that I know would be Susan, James, that person, myself, and then Eve was used in the program for Gamora and her the sister, the ¿cómo se llama la Gamora, and I was used in for Nebula as well. So we were part of that twinning program. There's a lot of twinning going on. It's also, it's not just the SSP, it's also Scientology, it's the other Black projects for their, pretty much for their dirty deeds. So we also talked about dimensions. I wanted to talk about the dimensions. Why is it 12 hours? Why is it 24 hours in a day? Every hour, 12, 1, 2, 3, every hour is a dimension. Every hour is taking care of a certain grid line and a certain energy here in the matrix. So when you do the spiritual work, like say, like tomorrow, I have to go do a spiritual purification with the Native Americans here, and putting out the word about the trafficking, about the women being trafficked, about not just that, but the different SRA and sacrifices that are being done with organs, not just here, but South America, South Africa. I mean, it's everywhere, you know. And when we do certain things at certain hours, if we all as a collective go and say, hey, we're going to do a meditation for this, and that, just be very careful who you join up with, because you don't know what their intentions are, I guess you can say. So I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe we should do one ourselves, you know, as far as us super soldier starseeds, you know, to stop this attack, to shift the timelines, because the real war that is going on right now, and I discovered this a few weeks ago, is that in Romania, well, close to Russia, the Caucasus Mountains, there's a Stargate, and they're fighting. The ETs are fighting. I'm in Ukraine still. Eve is still in Ukraine. I know another person, another SS is still in Ukraine. So we're trying to take care of that Stargate. This is what the whole war is about. It's not about the baby Jabberwocky. It's about, you know, creating new soldiers for the Star Wars program, but our job is to take care of the gates. Stargates. I know I went off on a tangent. Does anybody want to say something? I'll stop right there.
I have something to say. So I was reading about the alignment throughout April and May. It's Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. They're gonna have a little parade in the northern hemisphere. So I think that's what you were probably seeing.
There is a mind war going on. There is a war for our souls. They want to know who's going to sell their soul at the end. They want to know who's going to quit, who's going to fold their hands and give up. And we can't give up, you guys. It's for the innocent. It's for, I don't know. I get upset sometimes. I'm like, is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. It's just you get like really tired sometimes. Like, when are things going to change? I don't want to focus on the negative. I want to see things change. I want us to, come up with other plans so we can keep fighting them. Because we're all doing it individually.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, anything else you have written down? We got like maybe 20.
Well, we were discussing how many strikes do you want?
What about us?
Yeah, you have some other things down.
It's terrible. I did the appeal. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have one strike. I got 2 more to go. Oh my gosh. Well, if it happens, I'll have to start another channel. 4th one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just starting to feel in within myself and looking around a definite current that I can detect a little more, in the sense that, there was the how did they administer the thing that may or may not be a virus, and are there code words that can activate, and where are these groups that are out there tearing down cities and stuff? Where are they coming from at their source and their roots, and how does that spread out, in the bigger picture, if there is a new world order army sort of scenario thing happening?
Yeah, and then the whole thing with Elon Musk wanting to buy Twitter because he wants to put on more propaganda for Bitcoin and crap like that. So it's like, I'm not saying everything's crap, but Bitcoin is also ET technology. It's also AI. So it's another slave system. I mean, some people.
I don't trust Elon.
Huh?
I don't trust Elon. I think there's good things he's doing, but there's still, I keep thinking of that Terminator movie when they go in and the guy was so nice that was inventing all of it and researching all the AI tech and the reverse engineering it. And then what happens in the future? It's like, ooh, stop playing God. Come on, people.
Yeah, I know he's with the big old Neuralink thing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, his whole thing is to upload people. So the people that pretty much don't reverse the baby Jabberwocky, that have the graphene oxide that pretty much turn into zombie wars. Those are the people that he wants to upload in Neuralink, and then he's gonna promise them like eternal life, or if not that, it'll be taking care of their family, switching for eternal life. And we already have eternal life. We don't need to, sell our souls for that. And a lot of people are stuck in the savior mentality, and I feel
so we don't go that route then.
Yeah,
but we're still programmed, and there's still code words, and so there's deprogramming and detoxing that needs to be taking place, it seems to be. How concerned are you about that?
My whole thing from last year has been telling people we need to deprogram from these code words. I'm glad you brought that up, the NWO and then the UN. When I was in junior high, I was telling Chad last week that, because he was talking about a lady that says that we have to deprogram. Well, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you guys. The hammer, the Thor hammer that I have on my channel is breaking kryptonite, breaking the programming. When I was in junior high, I was used because they wanted me to become a politician. They, everything with NWO, New World, UN, the Bush administration, even Reagan. I was like, I love Reagan, and then I later on in life find out, what the heck? I just, I wanted to be 18 to be able to vote for these puppets. And, you know, I was telling the group earlier when I landed from Vegas, I think it was from the plane from Phoenix to Tucson. When we landed, the flight attendant said, "Welcome to American Airlines, New World Order." I'm like, did you hear that? I told the guy sitting next to me. The guy sitting next to me, lo and behold, he was a person that worked for the Wright brothers, and I was used in the Wright brothers program when I was in 7th grade to fly the Cessnas. 7th grade at Apollo. So it's like, what are the coincidences of him being next to me and him telling me, "Oh yeah, I work for this company, which is the Wright brothers in here, close to Nogales, between Tucson and Nogales." So I'm like, why would this air attendant say that? The flight attendant? Well, it's because the G Mafia that's coming in, right? The Chinese credit thing, the who's going to live in the smart cities, who's going to have the actual insurances for medical, just a lot of stuff.
And are you feeling that squeeze? Because I'm noticing rent going up, I'm noticing gas going up, I'm noticing everything under the sun going up, and eventually, and jobs becoming more and more intolerable. That bubble situation that I was talking about, that community situation, is eventually we're going to
have to move in with each other somehow in some way. And
I know.
because
It may be a cave, and I'm okay with that, but I'm just, it won't ever be part of the box, not doing those.
We have certain of us have a chronic PTSD, so of course I want to be in my own bed, but it's like in my own place. It's just that, so the government gives us certain amount, some of us a certain amount, and then they up the rent, so you get like maybe $30 for the month after you pay your rent. What are you gonna do now? I mean, something's got to change. We have to manifest, not just for us, but for those that are having to live on the streets right now because of this stupid situation. Yes, gas prices. It's all about the oil. And what is oil? It's a derivative of black goo. So, sentient being as well. And the fight has always been for that Stargate in Iraq and Iran, right? The oil. We are their oil. We are their bioluminescence, and I don't want to be their slave no more. So I reject it.
No.
I reject this timeline. Seriously.
I do too.
The poverty timeline. We are kings and queens. We are more than goddesses, kings, gods, whatever you want to call it. We are, you guys, it's like, we're not slaves anymore. I reject being a slave. And I will not work for the new Star Wars program that DT had, in place. And I mean, the Ashiana Deans things that we talked about, the bloodlines class, it's these things coming in, aligning, the changing of the atmosphere, the changing of the planets, the changing of Mother Earth, this whole thing. And even Peter the Insider and ACIO talked about it, but in cold words. He said the road to hell. And Jessica Morocco was saying, yeah, not a lot of people want to hear the truth because they're going to be living in fear, because this wormwood or doom world is coming in, and supposedly in less than 200 years, boom, Earth is supposedly either we're going to help it shift, or we're going to go back to where we came from in little pieces. But I want to keep my dignity. I don't mind going back in pieces as long as I remember, as long as I go back to where I come from, and I don't have to reincarnate in this planet. I've been attacked very much so for the past, yesterday was okay, but the day before that and the day before that, I was very depressed. I kept feeling the loneliness. I kept feeling the sadness. I kept feeling like, when is this gonna change? We gotta change. We gotta change our frequency. We always have to keep in high frequency. Obviously, we know that. We have to keep positive, but lately it's been
hard right now.
Hard. What was that?
Oh, no, I'm saying it's just kind of hard, just like I said, everything that's happening, the rent going up, gas going up, food going up.
The cat food going up. I'm concerned.
Yeah, cat food's going up.
I don't know. I have enough for 3 more days for cat food. I know I'll get some. I know. It's just something's got to change, guys. We got to change it.
Yeah. After paying my rent, I only had $35 left, so I had, of course, buy them their cans, which is $20, and then just 2 gallons of water. And now I've got $10 in my account to my name, so I'm like, all right, gotta wait till this Friday when I get my last check from the Tesla place I was working at, and then start my new job on Monday. So
I even told Celeste, well, then come over here and move in here if you have to. But I mean, I know you want to stay over there. You're in a nice place, and just
but soon enough it's gonna get unbearable, man. It's just only gonna be the rich pricks that can live over here, and it's just like it's always gonna be, it's that whole gentrification thing or whatever, you know, where they're just upping the rent, and the only people that can do it are just like the rich assholes, and it's just like the whole feudal system, you know. You got the rich people up here, and then us peasants are down here just trying to make it, trying to survive. And it's like, well, then fuck it. You're just gonna make us make little communities again, and you're seeing us thrive. You're not gonna like it.
well, that's why I was telling you guys earlier before we started this. I said 3 days ago, I yelled at them. I'm like, you guys, I'm not gonna die in a car accident because my car needed $1,000 worth of work. And I'm like, you guys need to send me the help because that's not my contract. My contract is not to die in a car accident. Fuck this, you know, excuse my language. So I'm like, you guys want me to keep talking, then friggin' provide for me, you know. And somehow, some way, I got someone miraculously to help me, and my car's in the shop right now. I have a rental, and that person paid for it. I'm very grateful. I'm not gonna say the name, but
Yeah, and I
how
don't
many
want to work
strikes do we
3
want?
jobs. Right. And I don't want to work 3 jobs just to keep this apartment after they jack up the rent. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Just work all my life and just be miserable, and that's it? Like, I'm never home because all I'm doing is working to the point where they want to break me and go crazy. And I'm like, no, I refuse to do that shit too. You know, I just don't want to move back to Phoenix, move back in with my mom or whatever. I like it up here in the woods with the,
Oh no, I can't
trees
live
and
with
stuff.
my family. No, thank you, but no. I love you guys.
Yeah, but yeah, no.
No, because our ideas and our missions, our, you know, the things that the trauma, our healing, you know, our persona, our frequency is very, very different than what they went through and what they are. I love my family, I dearly do, but it's easier when you live alone and you can ask yourself questions, you know, taking breaks from technology and reading or whatever you have to do. And you got to be careful with books too, because books can also be infiltrated. So it's all about going inside, using your own intuition, weighing out the pros and cons. You know, there's always 4 ideas, you know, the good, the bad, the positive, the negative, what you think, and then the counter. So it could be the four ways of looking at things, and everybody has different perspectives. So
Okay, you know, and another perspective too is like I one time told my folks, you know, I will survive this, whatever it is, and I don't know that you will because I'm awake. And those that need to survive this need to wake up. And then the answer I got was, oh, really? You know, well, why do you think that? And I'm like, well, because you're going to stay here in your house and feel protected, and I'm going to go straight that way through the woods where it's safe. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we're being protected, you know, by poverty. You know,
that's a good,
you know, like I don't have a house to be anchored down to. I don't have these things. I'm good to go on the fly. You know, so in a way, you know, and maybe it won't be that we have to work our whole life, because maybe it does end and things do shift.
we just got to
So we need to be thinking, because I am seeing that current happening now. There is an NWO thing happening, army thing, that, you know, with the rioting and things in the cities and the other actions we've seen on the border, and then there is a deliberate attack, and then there is fentanyl or some sort of, you know, infiltration there through the east and through the south and through the northern border. So I mean, it's pretty clear that we're heading in a direction. You know, it's not going to be. But you're right. It is. I was just saying it the other day. There's definitely a class system forming. They're wiping out the middleman. they just raised 40-cent tax on diesel as well, which is the people that deliver everything. So it's just
Truckers.
on top of that, costing $1,200 to fill up your truck to deliver.
That's why I had to cut down to eat once a day.
I stock shelves, and so I pay attention, and I haven't done it for a few weeks. They pulled me back in there to help out and get caught up, and things have been spread out a lot further. A lot fewer things have been spread out a lot further. It's all building, so
It is.
yeah, we do need to prepare for that other thing though, and start thinking in that mindset as well.
My mom was telling me that they were saying, I guess in the fall there's going to be another pandemic. So she's like, maybe you should move in. She's like, we should all be together. And I was like, I don't know. I don't feel like I don't know how to explain it, but I just don't feel like it is necessary for me. It's just, you know, how moms are. You know, they just want to protect their kids, and I'm like, I'm 40, man. Like, I don't need you to protect me anymore. And I was telling her, I have this feeling in Biden's 3.5 year of his reign of terror, something's gonna happen. And she was like, that's what other people are saying too. Like, in his 3.5 year of his whatever presidency, something's gonna happen. And I'm like, I hope he's going down and things start changing for the better, because things can't continue this way.
Him and the other psyop, because remember, these both sides have always been puppets of those people, we'll say, that have these meetings every year, you know where, twice a year, they have these meetings where they're going to decide who's president. So, you know, it's all a game. So I feel in my heart, and thank you, Chad and Celeste and everyone, I feel that as long as we keep talking and we keep doing our mission, no matter what, that we will be provided for. It's, you guys, we can't go back to sleep. We can't go into hiding either.
I feel very fortunate. Just like I've had so much that I've accumulated in the past few years that I've been able to be in a position to donate to people in need lately. Even though it's just been assets like, oh hey, I have an extra bed and a dresser and some mattresses for your kids, and here's some clothing. And I can't eat this kind of food anymore, but I have an abundance of this. Here, you can go. And then that's like we're trading. And then recently being able to move to a place where my rent is actually lower than in the town I've been. And my job has been great. As a cook, I've been working, and I've like, they're in high demand. Like, people want cooks in restaurants. And I'm like, I feel so fortunate. It just seems like wherever I've been, despite what could be, it's like I feel like I always have such good luck. Like, I just find the right place at the right time, and I just flow with it. And I think that's one thing that really helps me to stay positive.
But Amaria, it's not luck, bro. It's us manifesting in our astral and
right.
conscious. Because
I think so, because like just like Noah St. John, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with him. I'm actually going to have him on my show Friday on a round table. He has a book called Affirmations, and he calls it afformations, not affirmations, because with the words that we use, we're actually creating, like, you know, we've talked at different shows, different bunches of us, about how our words are spells, and that spelling, you know, the way that we're talking, the things that come out of our mouth. And so a lot of times I'll be thinking, ooh, I feel so lucky today or whatever. Cause I'm like, you still are going to have that reality of, you feel the shitty energies, you feel the anxiety, you feel whatever comes in, because they're trying to make us feel like hell. And I feel those things. There's days when I feel depressed, and I'm like, I sit up and I'm going, whoa, that's not me.
right.
Because there's no reason I should be feeling sad. I'm like, I got a home, I have food, I have a job, I live within walking distance of my job. Some people are like, what the hell? You're like, your power's out, your sink is clogged, your car doesn't run. I'm like, dude, I feel so grateful just to be here, yo. I mean, look where we are. We got so much shit we can do. And it's just like being able to raise and hold the vibration and hold that gratitude, I think also helps other people with their hope and their faith in being able to sustain themselves. Just like, you know, Chad was saying, like, you know, I don't have any attachment to anything in particular. If I have to just jump up and go. And that's how it is right now with my move. I'm like, do I need this? Nah.
I got my
And it's
2
such a
cats.
cool
I'm
feeling.
good. I got my cats because they
I
sleep.
got my little dog.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you,
That's so
Maria.
cool.
Yes, I believe that as long as we stay grateful and as long as we stay on mission, on point, and I think everything's going to work out. So Chad just told me it's time to go. It's going to be time to go here on Instagram. I think they just boot you out after an hour, but I wanted to just go around the room and say, your last words for now, because we're going to have another show soon. Like I said, on Instagram, it's going to be on right now. It's live right now. It'll be on my Instagram, Veronica Bartolini. But on Zoom here, I'll have to hold it until I can upload it on my YouTube because of that darn strike. So last words for now, and how they can contact you. We'll start with Amaria, Eve, Susan, Celeste, Chad, and then I'll go at the end. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Veronica, for having me on again. It's been a while. I do energy work. I don't like to put a lot of labels to things just because I think it gets into too much guru religion stuff. I just follow spirit, what I've been trained. I don't profess to be any kind of a leader or teacher. People come to me, I help them with their issues. I've done things for possessions, entity removals, attachments, helping with etheric body parts being returned, removed, whatever needs to be done. I can be able to see and balance the 12 different energy bodies. And I do different types of readings, remote viewing. And if you're in my physical presence, I can do hands-on. There's different things I do energetically with that as well. So my email is thebestproblemsolvers@live.com, and you can get me there. I'm physically in Idaho right now. I'm moving to Salt Lake, and so there might be some people that want to work there. There's places that I can meet. I usually like to meet in nature whenever I meet people. A lot of times I do things over the phone. We can do like a video chat or anything like that. But I absolutely am passionate about our energies, our bodies, the words that we speak, and just really helping empower people and just to be their best self. And so, yeah, there we go.
Yes. Thank you, Mama Maria. Miss Susan?
Well, thanks for having me on. I've been doing healing work for 13 years at least now. I do quantum trance, cranial fascial therapy. I'm a psychic medium, remote viewer. I have a couple of pages, Divine Connections on Facebook, and it's on IG, and then Dragon and Phoenix page on Facebook and IG, so you can reach me through those.
Thank you, Susan. And I know we still have to do my QHHT that someone kindly paid for, and she knows I'm grateful. Thank you. You know who you are. So contact me. I'm gonna do a spiritual thing this weekend, the gathering. So I'm thinking next week, but let me know, Susan. And then now is it, who did I say was next? Eve or Celeste? Eve? Okay.
Yeah. My name is Eve, and I do a lot of hands-on healing. I'm an empath sensitive. You can get a hold of me on Rising Spirit on Facebook, or I'm on Instagram too as Rising Spirit Reiki, or you can get a hold of me on Instagram through Evie Schmiede, EVIESHMIVIE. For a minute there, I went back to like third grade with the spelling bee. So I do a lot of work with like healing, Reiki, and then I also do like I get visions, so I'm claircognizant and clairvoyant, and I work a lot with different realms and stuff. So I mean, if I'm needed, I do have a lot of spirit guides and helpers and angels that assist me in doing everything that I can here. Because what we're all here together is we're all here to help a humanity, and and help each other as well and lift each other up. So thank you for having me. So sorry I came in late. My father was getting discharged from the hospital today, and
better.
then I just found out my son, he was going to go to his house and he just got COVID. So kind of had to put everything on hold. So so I really apologize to everybody for popping in late like that.
Okay, Mama. We were supposed to have Kimberly O'Connor. I don't know what happened, but hopefully we'll have her on next week. Thank you. Celeste Chaparro, what up, Chola Chismes? What up? You guys have to catch our video on. Hopefully Amaria and Susan and Eva, if you chat, who knows, you might be on the next one. Okay. So
oh man, that was so crazy. Yeah, my name's Celeste. As of now, I'm not a healer of any kind. I'm still just trying to find out who I am, what my purpose is on this planet. So I'm just here just to see if anything, I don't know, just if anything gets triggered, anything, just to know what I'm supposed to do. Hopefully I'll find my gift soon. You can just find me on Instagram as Celeste Plantagenet York. That's about it. Just keep on trucking, everybody. It's all we can do right now.
thank you, Mama. And Mr. Chad.
Everyone, I like to be reached on Instagram. That's usually a good place to reach out for me. I am considering putting together a website, and that's in the process right now. I want to be part of the not the detox, because you know, what can you do unless you go get certified for, you know, through health and stuff, and I'm not going to go that route. I'm not interested. Use your common sense, you know, all the information's out there, but the deep programming part I definitely want to be part of. You know, it goes in with my programming. You know, I just like to know how people work. I like to know how everything works, and so I'm going to put something together there using, I believe, hypnotherapy and another modality or something to assist people. I don't heal people. I'm not going to heal anyone. So that's not what my goal is here. It's to assist people on their journeys, you know, on their healing journey. But I'm going to put that together here soon, and I'm looking forward to doing that.
Thank you, Chad. And I finally met Chad in the meet and greet. It was fun. We had a blast. We went to Bisbee. We did videos. We talked a lot. I didn't want him to go, but he had a puppy to work, so it was fun. Okay, so Veronica Bartolini, Codebreaker Real Talk, Unchained Hearts, Unchaining Hearts, Galactic Remote Viewer. I'm a clear channel psychic medium, recovery coach, behavioral health therapist. I do readings. I do all kinds of stuff. I break hexes. I do coaching calls. I'm a dream walker, etc., etc., etc. So I help heal. If you guys want to heal yourselves, well, you gotta first of all unmask your soul and unchain your heart. I love you guys. You guys know where to reach me. Talk to you later. Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you.